Welcome to my channel. This is Charlie. I want to talk about when I was 15 years old. I was outside playing basketball. This was in Round Rock, Texas, where Dell Computers is, close to Austin. I was playing with several of the kids, and there were some adults that were there. Last thing I remember was hyperventilating, and I kept playing basketball. I kept pushing and pushing, and then I went unconscious, had a seizure, and the last thing I remember there was looking up and seeing the EMTs, and they were taking me into the ambulance. But I remember turning my head and seeing my family and just seeing look on their faces, because that had never happened before. That was the first time. It scared them. When I have a seizure, I have grand mal seizures, so I go down to the ground. Also, I have petit mal seizures, but the grand mal seizure is the big one. It's where I go down to the ground, I stop breathing, I'm shaking violently, and then I'm unconscious for a while, and then I usually come out of it after maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing 4 or 5 minutes. A lot of times, well, in the beginning I used to go to the hospital like every time that would happen. But then after a while, I didn't go to the hospital. I would just stay home and then just go lay down in bed or lay down on the couch, and I'd be fine. And then I'd go see the regular doctor, my neurologist, and tell him what's going on and all that. And then he would check my medication levels and adjust them if they needed to be adjusted. Through the years, I've had MRIs done, I've had EKGs, EEGs, had all kinds of tests done. There's, in the beginning, when they had me hooked up, and the wires all hooked onto my head, I don't remember if that's EKG or EEG, whichever it is, it would show on there a spike every time I would have some seizure activity. And during those times, it's like right now, I'm not having a seizure, at least I don't feel a seizure, or I feel fine. But that's exactly how I felt when I was being tested. And when they would see those spikes can happen, and you're having seizure activity, but don't even realize you're having a seizure, or you're having seizures. And then, now the grand mal seizure, that one you do realize, because you go down the ground, you stop breathing, you're unconscious. And usually before a grand mal seizure, I do have, I guess it's like a warning system. A lot of epileptics have them. If they have grand mal seizures, a lot of them will have some kind of warning before they have the grand mal. And some, I've heard, will have like a metallic taste in their mouth, and when they have that taste in their mouth, they know they're about to have a grand mal seizure. There's some that have other kind of signs. Mine, I have the petit mal seizures, and that's where my body shakes and does like a couple of I call them little earthquakes, just where I shake real quick, and I'll shake just like I just did, and then may happen a minute later, another one comes, and then another minute later, another one comes, and they'll keep doing that, and then the big one will hit, and I go down on the ground. I'm unconscious. But if I catch those triggers, the warnings, I go lay down, then it'll go away if I just go to sleep. With me, there's, when I lay down, it's keeping everything, I guess, calm, and when I'm having the seizures, it's like a major short circuit and everything just going haywire. So when I lay down, it just calms everything and it all just goes away. Well, recently, let's talk about the seizures. The seizures, there's been some things that I've wanted to do that I didn't get to do, because I'm epileptic. One of the things that I wanted to do, and I was in my 20s, and that was join the military. And of course, being epileptic, you can't join the military. If I'm holding a gun and I don't know, somewhere overseas, and I'm with a bunch of my guys, and I got the gun in my hand, and I have a seizure, that's not going to go too well. So it kept me out of the military, but that was a good thing because I wouldn't be where I am now, and a lot of good things have happened to me going the route that I did. And one of the other things I wanted to be was a commercial pilot. And yeah, that probably would have been great money and everything, but we actually have a commercial pilot in the family on my wife's side, and from what I hear, he's working several hours, and actually his wife is a doctor, and she works a lot of hours also. But where I am now with my job, I have off 5 weeks every year, plus I get 2 weeks because of federal holidays. So I get 7 weeks altogether off for the year. Now my 5 weeks that I have, those are my personal days, those roll over. So if I don't use them, they'll roll over. And then I have what we call sick leave, and this is time that I have that I've earned, and I have, I don't know, approximately 500 hours, 500 or 600 hours of sick leave, which means if I'm sick, then I take off. And so I have a lot of time off with the job that I have now, and it allows me to enjoy a lot of the things that I like to do, like my passions and everything that you're seeing on YouTube. One of the things that happened not too long ago, which was some good news for me, is they tested me again. They had the wires hooked up to my head, and they were checking to see the seizure activity, and I do not have any seizure activity. Now, if you get epilepsy as a kid, like let's say you're 2 years old and you get it, then as you get older, you're gonna, and your mind's gonna, your brain's gonna get more developed, and your body's gonna grow, and everything's gonna change. So most of the time, epileptics, when they're young, will grow out of it and then no longer have epilepsy. If you get epilepsy when you're older, then most of the time you're going to be taking medication for the rest of your life. I got it when I was 15, I'm kind of, it's possible that I grew out of it, but then there's another chance that the medication is just controlling everything. And so next year I am going to, because the neurologist was saying that I could go off my medication, which is great news for me. I will be taking a year and a half off. I'm sorry, a year and a half. That'd be great. No, I'm going to take a month and a half off, and won't be able to drive during that time. My wife's going to have to, take me to appointments or whatever. And then I am going to wean off the medication, and we're going to see if I can go totally off the medication. I'm hoping that does happen. If I do have another seizure at that time, then I will go right back on the medication and be right back where I am now. But for me, it's worth trying. Because the medication, like any medication, goes through your liver filters it, all that stuff affects your liver, and I don't know how my liver's gonna be later on. I'm already past 50, and I want to at least try this and hope that it works. Anyways, and I will be posting that on YouTube during that time when that happens. And right now I am pulling up to my house, and I want to thank y'all for your likes, your subscriptions, your interest, and just watching this channel. Thank you very much. Bye. See you on the next one.